give away with the cruiser
I can get one out of the car.
now? Get one
I
out
thought you had one with you. No.
You're welcome.
I like cruiser for everything.
Can't bring me anywhere.
Wait a minute, Roddy's
They
got
can
the
get a
wagon.
quick.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I like that. Double-decker wagon. The Mobile.
How much time is it?
I could go run out and get one if we got time.
Hey, Doro, will you give me a mic check? You're the closest.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Alright,
8,
that
9,
works.
10. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doro. I think there's enough light in here. It's not the
Yeah.
greatest angle.
Stand in the middle, I'll be all right.
Shout is up. There's no one at the podium yet. You'll have to keep them under on that. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, they said 5 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, Jeremy. Did you hear me? Jeremy, can you hear me if I talk to you like this? They said 5 minutes ago, or 5 minutes away, about 4 minutes ago.
All right, we got Bear coming in. Hey, we just posted to our Facebook like an in cab. I'll do this for volume, like an in cab as driving. So if folks want to grab that or need that file or something like that to show kind of it's time lapse, so it's quicker, kind of what we're seeing from the cab view. Just feel free to grab that.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll do a gaggle with some questions afterwards. Let me know if you want any one-on-ones after that, and we'll try to accommodate as best as possible. And I'll get out of the way.
Thanks, Randy. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for being here. Winter Storm Fern has lived up to its expectations. It was one of those times I really wish we had been wrong, but it has lived up to expectations. This remains a serious and dangerous winter weather event. This is one of the most serious winter storms we've had in decades, and while our crews have been working continuously, conditions are still extremely challenging. Our message this morning is clear. This storm is ongoing, conditions remain difficult, and public cooperation is essential. Stay home, stay informed, and give crews the space they need to work. We're now dealing not just with the snow totals, which are pretty unprecedented, but with wind and extreme cold. Much of the snow that fell was light and fluffy, which means wind is blowing snow and recovering roadways that have already been plowed. Winds are expected to increase through Tuesday with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. This will make drifting snow a considerable obstacle along with cold temperatures. Roads can appear cleared and then quickly become covered again. Last night, more than 80 trucks were in service, and we are back up to over 100 trucks since the 7 a.m. shift change. As of this morning, crews are actively servicing Priority 1 routes. Right now, we have 92 trucks deployed. About 95% of Priority 1 actually over 95%, nearly 100% of Priority 1 streets have been serviced. That means the first pass. We know it's going to take several passes at these Priority 1 and Priority 2. We're up over 90% of Priority 2 streets that have been initially serviced. So I want to stress Priority 2 streets are residential streets, and progress there will continue, but it will take time given the conditions we're facing. We know that sometimes because of the conditions out there and because of other traffic, these snow routes can take much longer than they would otherwise. So this is due to other cars being on the road causing backups and snow drifting. We had an accident this morning where one of our drivers was knocked unconscious in the T-bone.
He was T-boned and taken to the hospital.
Taken to the hospital. So this is real. So this is why we need people to stay at home and stay off the roads so that our snow warriors can do their work and get home to their families safe as well. We're throwing everything we have at the storm, but Mother Nature is working against this. We're asking for your patience and understanding as we work around the clock to work through an exceptionally challenging situation. Some other quick additional updates on the emergency front. The city's working closely with county and emergency responders to ensure access to hospitals, medical facilities, police and fire response continues. The Department of Public Service is responding in real time to requests to open access for ambulances and first responders, and that coordination will continue. CODA, public transit, remains available for essential travel. CODA is continuing service during the snow emergency, waiving fares through at least tomorrow. CODA Mainstream is providing life-critical trips to those who need medical care, food, or access to warming centers. And while the buses are running, riders should expect delays. Refuse and City Services, Columbus Division of Refuse will make trash pickups as scheduled today, January 26th. Rumpke will be one day behind this week on its rescheduled recycling and yard waste collection routes for Columbus residents. If weather causes delays, crews will return as conditions allow. If pickup is missed, residents should leave bins at the curb and call 311 for assistance. With extreme cold, no one will be turned away from shelters or warming centers. If you are outside, please come inside. These temperatures are dangerous and could have deadly consequences if you stay outside, and help is available. On the community responsibility front, I want people to continue to park vehicles off the street wherever possible. We know in some neighborhoods that isn't possible, but in many neighborhoods it is. Shovel your sidewalks if you're able and assist neighbors if you can. And please help out our warriors by not throwing any of that snow back into the streets. Throw it up into the yard or out of the way. And most importantly, look out for one another. Please check in on your neighbors, especially our vulnerable residents. Please help a neighbor shovel their sidewalks if you're able, and continue to come together and take care of one another. No doubt about it, this storm is testing our systems and certainly will test our patience over the next several days, but our crews are working nonstop and coordinating across departments to keep our residents safe. In closing, please stay home, stay informed, and give crews the space and the grace they need to work. Not only have we had an unprecedented snowfall, but the temperatures this week, I believe today will be the warmest it will be this week. We will not reach above 20 degrees for at least a week. We will not get back to freezing until, I believe, the first or second week of February. So this is a very challenging time. The storm has stopped snowing, but these conditions are going to make it very challenging for us to get the roads passable without several days and several passes at our priority 1, 2s, and 3s. So turn things over to Director, or do you want to have Scott share a few words? Any updates?
I'll let Scott go.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. Operational updates for everyone today. We continue to utilize a full call out, and as the mayor said, that currently has us over 99 trucks. We have serviced 99% of our Priority 1 arterial roadways, and as indicated, we have been on over 90% of our Priority 2 collector streets. Now, these collector streets are the ones that feed into the neighborhoods. Also, as indicated, that's since the start of the event. So particularly for these Priority 2 collectors, we may have serviced them at 2 a.m. Sunday morning, 6 a.m. Sunday morning, and obviously it continued to snow for a number of hours. So many of them are still needing additional service, and we will be back to ultimately service all of those Priority 2 roadways as a part of our service plan. Right now, we are continuing to focus the majority of our crews on our Priority 1 arterial roadways, the major roadways that carry the most volumes and highest speeds of traffic. We do have a number of crews that are working those Priority 2 collector streets. We have also slowly started to break into some of our Priority 3 local roadways as well. Right now, we've been on just about 10% of those streets. That local network totals over 2,200 miles alone. So we still have a long way to go. As mentioned, the extreme cold and windy conditions over the next, the wind particularly over the next 24 to 36 hours and the long-term cold absolutely hamper our efforts. It reduces the effectiveness of our materials. It requires more and more passes and more material and effort to ultimately get the snow to break free from the road so that we can plow it off. Our Priority 1 roadways are starting to become passable as a result of our efforts. Please continue to pay attention to the sheriff's snow emergency levels. We are coordinating with Sheriff Baldwin and providing him feedback so that he can make the best decision for our community in regards to what the appropriate snow emergency level is at that time. We anticipate that over the next 12 to 24 hours, the vast majority, if not all of our Priority 1 streets will become fully passable. This is not perfect. They will not be perfect for a number of days, in part because of the extreme cold, the wind. There's a chance for additional flurries or light snow showers in the coming days that would also require us to have to continue to service those Priority 1 roadways. Hopefully, as we stand here Monday morning, by late tomorrow, many of our Priority 2 streets will become fully passable. Those streets that are getting plowed now will be passable sooner because it's not going to snow anymore or not snow too much. And then the streets that we serviced early in the storm, as we go back and continue to service those, they will also become passable. Again, it only stopped snowing 12 hours ago, so we have been working around the clock since overnight Saturday. We will continue to work around the clock. One note about our Priority 3 local streets. Several years ago, we did review all of our routes and reorganize, so now any and all of our Priority 3 local roads, even though they have not yet been plowed, or most of them have not, and it will be another day or two before we're fully able to get there, all of those streets are within 2 to 3 blocks of a Priority 2 roadway. So for those residents who do need to get out, who do have urgent and pressing appointments that cannot wait or cannot be rescheduled, they simply have to make it 2 or 3 blocks and they will be able to reach a road that has been serviced in their commute. Again, it will not be perfect, but it will be passable. In the downtown area, this volume of snow causes some unique challenges for us. There is so much snow that simply pushing it to the curb, as we typically do, is going to cause some really big problems with not only parking but impacts to sidewalks. The fact that there's extended cold and it will not melt off soon means we are going to be enacting our downtown hauling plan. So what this means is the streets in downtown may look a little different right now. Many of the two-way streets have actually been plowed to the middle. We will be coming back to ultimately haul all of that snow out in the coming days. We are working to see how quickly we can get there, but we are also wanting to prioritize service into the Priority 2 and Priority 3 neighborhood streets. This is the first time since 2008 that we have had to enact this plan. So again, that speaks to the historical nature of this storm. Over 12 inches of snow at Columbus, and then again the long-term extreme cold following it. Our team will be working 24/7, likely well into the weekend until we have completed all necessary service. And then as indicated, several safety messages to really focus on. Yesterday we had a number of problems with vehicles that were out on the road when they really should not have been. Lots of cars stalled in the middle of the roadway, blocking our progress, hindering our routes. Multiple times we could not service an arterial 2-lane road because there was a car stuck right in the middle and we couldn't fit by. As mentioned today, we had a plow vehicle struck and our driver injured. So again, this is very serious to give these men and women extra room to work. And then finally, one of the other problems that we're having with this event is folks who are shoveling driveways, sidewalks, some of the private contractors clearing private parking lots. They're pushing a lot of snow into the streets. And so not only is that wrong and illegal, it's a significant safety hazard to leave a pile of snow in the street for a vehicle who might not see it and hit a large pile of snow. It makes our efforts less effective. It hinders our response. So again, my request to anyone who is doing their own snow work with this event, not only for your driveways and sidewalks, but if you are working on a private parking lot for a commercial retail restaurant style building, please do not push that snow into the street. With that, this concludes my remarks. I'm not sure my turn to.
We're doing a gavel.
Yeah, and I think there are two other points I'd like to make before we take any and all questions. I think I've shared this with some of you, maybe one-on-one, but I'm not sure if I've shared this with the entire media. I did sign an emergency order on Friday for an additional $100,000 to supplement our private contractors. That's been an element. With the director and Scott's leadership, we look and evaluate after every winter event what we could be doing. You know, a real commitment to continuous improvement. With their leadership, they put together the auxiliary team, grown the auxiliary team dramatically. So that's city employees that work full-time for other departments that in the midst of major weather events come to pitch out and back up the snow warriors, and our engagement with private contractors, particularly to help us focus on those priority 2s and 3s. And because of the fall and the winter events that we had in December and January, we were nearing the end of the resources for private contractors. So I signed that emergency order on Friday so that would be fully in place for us to deal with this. And depending on what Mother Nature throws us, we might need to do more before the end of this winter season. The second thing is a shout out to all of our partners, ODOT, the county, our suburban neighbors, other partners here in the region who have all been incredibly helpful and great partners. Obviously, Sheriff Baldwin with his work. So I just want to thank everybody for the great regional cooperation and partnership. I've been mayor for a while. I think this region is working closer together during major winter weather events than ever before, and really proud of the way folks are working together and helping each other out.
Can I,
Please.
just to add to the partnership, that not only does that extend with the regional partners, but again, this auxiliary staff that has really helped us get into 90% of those priority 2s. Those are men and women in building and zoning code enforcement, right? They're building inspectors the other 51 and a half weeks of the year, right? Rec and Parks has sent us another 8 to 10 trucks today alone, so they're helping to prioritize streets for us. So that's a huge thank you. All of these vehicles take a tremendous beating and a tremendous amount of wear and tear during this event. Our fleet team has been in our garage and staffing their fleet facility right around the clock, 24/7 with us since Saturday afternoon. And again, none of this happens just because of myself or some of the street maintenance staff. This is a true City of Columbus team effort. So again, we have folks from our traffic crew and our refuse crew who, like I said, when they're not doing their regular jobs, are coming over to help. So not only on the regional level, as the mayor said, but also on an internal City of Columbus level as well.
Scott, can you tell us a little bit about your employee that got injured? Tell us where it was, what kind of vehicle he was driving, etc.
In the Easton area, there was an individual, one of our individuals in a dump truck. There were several of our dump trucks together, and as they were in the process of turning around and cleaning up some intersections, a private entity went around our truck who was trying to block and control traffic and T-boned our individual. This individual was taken to seek medical treatment. He was released. He's ultimately expected to be okay, but again, that just kind of underscores the safety messaging. In addition to that, that truck that got hit is now unserviceable. So not only did we lose a staff member for a couple of days while he recovers, but we've also lost a piece of equipment.
When was it?
Early morning,
Yesterday?
This morning. Yes, sir.
So the person who hit the truck was trying to block efforts? Is that what you said?
We had 2 trucks together. One truck was turning around and clearing out an intersection. The second truck was kind of parked skewed to block an intersection. That's normal plowing tactics to try to tell the traffic behind you, like, hey, give us a second to flip around or whatever. And the third-party individual went around our truck blocking and struck the truck in front.
What were they driving?
They were driving actually a snowplow for a private company, which is one of the reasons why the impact was so significant between the speed of that individual and the fact that he's driving a large pickup with a plow on it.
Is he going to be, that other driver be cited?
I don't have that information at this time.
Is this the only accident that has happened so far?
We've had several other minor accidents, but this is the biggest notable one. None of the other incidents have been significant or severe or caused injuries. This is the one that, again, is really kind of eye-opening and underscores the the risk and the safety challenges that our men and women face 24/7 when we're doing these types of operations.
Hey Scott, while you're standing there, is there any way to avoid, this is something we saw this morning, is there any way to avoid kind of snowing in some of the side streets? Like, we were on North 4th Street this morning, and like, you know, the trucks go by and kind of plow in some of those side streets, kind of causing some hazards, or like almost a barricade, like a snow barricade on some of those side streets.
Yes, especially with this much snow, it obviously has to go somewhere and gets piled up. And so while we're servicing the priority 1 roadways, our priority is the through movement and trying to clean out some of the turn lanes. Ultimately, yes, as a part of our service plan, we did go back, and this is one thing that takes forever, is clean up every single city intersection, right? So in fact, I was in a truck this morning, and you go through the main line, then you have to come back and push back that intersection. And again, that's one of the things that the individual that was in the accident this morning was working on, is as they cleared through the main intersections on a major roadway, a Morris, a Sunbury, that type of thing, then they have to clean all that snow up so that if you're crossing the intersection, you don't run into a big pile, and that's one of the safety risks.
Mayor, you were out actually in a plow yesterday. Can you kind of give us, from your point of view, how the roads looked?
Still very dangerous, you know, and that's why the sheriff, it made the unprecedented move and declare a level 3 emergency. And so I think, you know, folks should make plans to stay home. That is the safest place for them. It's also the safest place for our snow warriors, so that they're able to get out and do their work and don't have to deal with cars that are stranded, or individuals that have been stranded, or folks that, you know, aren't giving them the room to operate. So we have a lot of work to do. I'm very proud of the snow warriors and the team. They are working around the clock. This is an unprecedented event. So continue to ask for the public's patience and for them to stay at home if they can. And really appreciate all the collective effort here. Really proud of the way the city and the community are coming together around this.
Is that extra $100,000 emergency funding going to be enough to clear these roads in the next couple of days?
Well, probably not the next couple. It's going to be several. We've been talking about that from the beginning of this. And so, and even though we're making great progress, as Scott mentioned, at servicing, we're going to have to service these roads, whether it's priority 1, 2, or 3, several times. And so it's really important for us to make sure that we're communicating that this is a major unprecedented event, and it will take us a significant amount of time and resources. I'm committed that whatever this team needs to help our city open back up and be safe for kids to go to school and moms and dads to go to work, and for cops and firefighters to continue to provide great essential city services, we'll spend whatever's necessary.
Speaking of schools, have you talked to Dr. Chapman today about the possibility of tomorrow?
Not today. We speak, especially in events like this, regularly. We spoke yesterday, and my guess is we'll probably talk again today, but not yet.
Are you hearing anything about people losing heat or power out there? Has that been an issue? We're getting some tips from viewers saying that they've lost heat from their homes. I don't know exactly what that means.
Yeah, and if that is the case, you know, please contact the city. Obviously, if it's city power, we can, you know, be directly involved, and if not, we can liaison with AEP and others. But please contact us in the mayor's office or through 311, and we will provide whatever resources we can.
Do you know how full the warming shelters and some of the other shelters are? You said no one will be turned away, but how full are they? Are people utilizing them?
It's probably a better question. I don't want to give you inaccurate information for Shannon Isom at the shelter board. I know that they cleared out a significant amount of space in warming centers and the shelters with housing folks in hotels and otherwise. So we've been planning and working together on this for quite some time. So this is a compassionate, loving community. We don't want people outside. If you are outside, please come inside. There could be deadly, deadly consequences for you to stay outside. And this city, this community has the resources to keep you safe.
Well, the garbage trucks are out trying to service. Is that the safest thing, given the fact that most of the residential streets haven't been plowed? And in my neighborhood, I've got, 2 feet of snow in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I didn't know this until this morning. You learn something every day as the mayor, that some of our refuse trucks are out, but in many places, another refuse truck with a plow goes before them to help make for better access. We do expect, based on the significant amount of snow, and that a lot of residents haven't gotten to their own sidewalks and driveways and so forth, that there may be less refuse put out today. But we're going to continue to do our part to be there every day delivering for the people of Columbus. We know this is not going to be a traditional refuse week, but we think it's important that people get the services that they pay for, and we're going to continue to provide that, whether it's refuse, police, fire, every day. Cities don't shut down. We're 24/7 operations, and it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to continue to show up and deliver.
I will just add that we do service 350,000 households a week. So getting behind one day with 350,000 households to service in a week puts us at a big disadvantage. So that's why we made the decision to go and continue to pick up trash today.
When might the roads be clear enough for things to sort of return to normal?
Is that the most loaded question?
Depends on what your definition of normal is. I mean, look, as said, major snowfall, over a foot of snow, extreme cold, winds, the potential for more snow. We're doing everything we can to return some sense of normalcy and an ability to travel. Travel itself will not be fully unimpacted and clear roads really until we get some heat wave. We simply just cannot melt this kind of snow, especially on our priority 3 streets. With the salt that we don't use salt on our priority 3 streets. So it's really dependent on Mother Nature when that ultimately melts away and returns to what some people might call normal. Again, our goal is that they are passable, particularly here in the next day or so for many of our streets, those priority 3 streets. As long as someone can get 2 blocks, 3 blocks to a priority 3 street, they'll ultimately be able to get to where they need to go. Again, they're going to continue to have to drive with caution, continue to have to respect the snow emergency levels. It will not be a perfectly free, bare pavement commute. But again, these roadways are quickly becoming passable, particularly on our priority 1 arterial and priority 2 collector streets.
Priority 3 is residential, right?
Yes, sir. Those are the local roads that many of our residents, most of our residents live on.
So, for the first time in years after snowfall, my Clintonville street was plowed this morning when I left.
Love it.
Was that likely a private contractor as part of this $100,000?
It could have been. Again, it's really our ability to turn up resources as needed, and so we just have more trucks. We're able to service more priority 2 and priority 3 streets. Our contractors are spread throughout the city, as is our auxiliary staff. So it was likely either a contractor or an auxiliary staff member. So if it wasn't a contractor, it could have been somebody helping from, again, building and zoning, rec and parks. It could have been many of the public and service employees who are typically an engineer during the day, right? Or they help us with grants coordination. Those men and women are in trucks right now as well. So they're spending a couple days hanging out with me and all my street maintenance friends.
Scott, I'll add to that too. It could be several years ago, there were a lot more priority 3 streets than there are today. In the last couple of years, we've made an effort to go through and make sure that these priority makes sense for each roadway, and several streets in Clintonville did flip between being a priority 3 to more of a main priority 2 roadway. So that could very well be.
I specifically took Doral Street off that. I'm just teasing.
Is your street plowed this morning, Mayor?
No.
So for residents, for the most part, who are on those priority 3 streets, who keep going on the website and checking to see when it's been plowed last, when can they anticipate, for the most part, the plows getting out into the neighborhoods?
Well, again, as mentioned, the priority 2 network is largely in the neighborhoods, and we have serviced 90% of that. So we are in the neighborhoods. As for getting to all of the P3s, it will be several days before we can ultimately get there. This is a major event. Again, these temperatures slow down the effectiveness of our service on our arterial roadways, which have to be the priority because of the volumes and speeds. We are slowly pushing into the priority 3 streets this morning. We've done about, like I said, about 10% of them. We will continue to push on that. But again, it will be several days of 24/7 operations until we've really started to get ahead of the storm. It only quit snowing 12 hours ago.
Mayor, who won the board games this weekend?
There are going to be a couple more rounds. It's not over yet. I had a rough weekend, but I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Go Clara.
Any other questions, guys? We'll stick around if you need anything else.
I can